Hey guys, I'm ready to go. Let me know if I'm on. All right, guys. Looks like we're on. And awesome, thanks. All right, guys. Looks like we're on. Just give me 1 second here. Um, I'm actually here at my son's house. My house, I don't know. I think they cut the wire when they were doing the landscaping and so on. So we're getting that fixed. But until then, I'm here at my son's house. By the way, welcome. This is Moss Sajady. This is Moss on Sunday, where we really explore the possibilities of well, life and how to transform it, and not through normal methods. Not through psychology, self-improvement, spirituality, and all that stuff. It's about frequencies. It's about time and space. It's and today is going to be a special event because we're going to bring back some people whose lives have massively transformed. Somebody's telling me nice car. Yeah, that's actually that. Yeah, that used to be my car. I had that. He was racing out here in Brainerd, but it's about 2 hours away. I actually sold that thing and got a Porsche. It's a GT4 Club Sport. So if you guys are into racing, we do an event called Driving into Success. Really powerful. We're going to do it again this next coming year up in Brainerd. It's beautiful, beautiful area. One of the top. It's the top 5 resorts in the U.S. Of its kind. So join us out there. We'll do some racing and get you really into success. But I've got a club, Porsche Club Sport 4 GT4. So, all right. So these individuals that we are talking to is individuals that we had brought on, Moss on Sunday before. I worked on them briefly, and I wanted to bring them back just to see how much change they've made, how much they've transformed. And I'm just going to let them speak for themselves. And now many of you on the call here and chat, just put on the chat how much your life has changed and notice the differences. And here's the questions that you want to ask. Did it take you a hell of a long time, right, compared to the changes that you've made? Some of you might have taken a years or so, but again, that initial phase of transformation went really quick. Many of you were on 18 days. Again, amazing transformations, right? Very, very quickly, usually within the first day. But these are changes that aren't just psychology or belief systems or workaround mechanisms or anything like that. These are transformative changes on the inner workings of how you operate or how you render your reality here. So we'll just jump right in. And again, we'll talk through these amazing people here. The first one is Thomas. I'd like to bring Thomas on. Because you're going forward, but you're always looking backwards on why things didn't happen. And again, this causes, let's start, not a doctor or anything, but this is where you start to create, say, depression, psychiatrists, where they start to give you medications. And then that split creates even more, that split of your split would be you going forward in life or aging, and then you wanting to go back and go, I didn't finish my life. Right?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. All right. So Thomas, how long have you known me, or how long have I worked on you, actually?
A friend introduced me to you in April this year.
Yeah.
And so end of April, and so I started to watch some of the free stuff in May.
And just even the free stuff, did that transform your life or allowed you to see things from a different perspective?
Yes. Even the introduction, my friend, of course, he is an XI as well since a long time, has changed my life because I could say, or I would say, I could smell possibilities behind. Possibilities I didn't even know the questions to ask for.
I love the way you said that, Thomas. People don't know what they don't know. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, people don't know what they don't know. And if you don't know, those possibilities, like Thomas was saying, I mean, man, there's limitless possibilities out there, and we're just scraping the surface, by the way. And Thomas, I just want to share your experience, if you don't mind, just a brief few minutes on how you transformed. And how long ago was that, by the way?
How long?
How long ago did I work on you, live?
I think about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes maximum.
Yeah. And how long ago was that? Like, what was it? A few months ago?
It was at the end of June or end of June.
Okay. Wow.
2021.
And Thomas, from the chat, people remember you and they go, "You're looking so different." It's crazy. So it's quite amazing, actually, what these people are telling you. Yeah. You're looking so different, Thomas. You're looking really good. It's an amazing one. It's amazing transformation. So can you tell me specifics on how you've changed from, say, that 15 minute session from, say, June, and then whatever else that you've done, maybe the 18 days with me or whatever else since June?
Okay. I can try it. I have made some notifications behind. If I would lose my track, I have a look inside. I try to start it in this way. When it came to the scan by you, it felt first, also my experience during the scan was sitting like in a rocket which accelerates very, very fast. I could not recognize anything. At the same time, and this was this paradox, I could realize everything in a slow motion way. And I realize, in between time, of course, I know it's about frequencies, but what you were talking, the words you were using, the topics you pinpointed, I could feel that that's right. That's absolutely right. I could not imagine before. I could not even imagine that this topic exists, but it was right. And then this rocket accelerates, and at the same time, like in slow motion, and I was excited. I was a bit dizzy after it. Everything, and after our scan, I felt really, really good, and I was watching my video again and over and over and over again. I want to figure out every detail.
That's beautiful. Thomas brings up a couple of points. Again, time went in slow motion because time is a variable, right? It's not a constant. So what we do from XI, and again, this is the science behind it all. And I'm not going to get into all the details. The lecture series that we do, the Moss experience that we do on the Best UTV, it goes into the details on how I help you transform your life. But what Thomas was talking about is that we're stuck in our lives. We're stuck in time. We're stuck in this reality. What I do for you by analyzing you, again, from the Tuning Your Death experiences, I have an amazing ability, and we all have these abilities, by the way. I have this ability to tap into you, and just like Thomas and anybody else, I can analyze you and go, whoa, this is the programming. This is the thing that's happened to you, whether it's your issues or your heritage, your parents' issues, grandparents, and so on. That's really blocking you. So the way you see that, though, is like I see it because I'm away from you. Thomas's life is here in front of me, right? I'm stepped out of Thomas's life. What I do is like, hey, Thomas, you know what? This, and this is happening to you. But if you're in your life, you can't see it, right? So what I do is I pull Thomas out of his own life, literally pull him out of his own, say, reality that is in his own simulation that he's created. And I go, hey, Thomas, this is the way you're creating your life. So you start to observe your life. And this is where Thomas was saying, it's like things got into slow motion. which is really cool. It's a lot like the Matrix, where things get into slow motion and you can really observe like those things in detail and see it's like, shit, I'm running this pattern, I'm running this pattern, I'm running this pattern. Does that make sense to you, Thomas? How that works?
Of course, yeah, very much, very much.
So anything else that you'd like to share? And I'll just scan you just for a quick second here as well. But if there's anything else that you'd like to share, that anything say specific from June till now.
Yeah, I would have a lot of stuff to say. Yeah, but what comes into my head is I did my first 18 days, and randomly I signed up for the accelerated. I realized the warnings too late, and then I imagined, okay, let's do it, and what will come will come. Okay. And then after the first 6 days of my first 18 days in June, I got a cure from my medical doctor. My medical doctor has a certain ability to scan me as well by distance. And he sent me an email, and he was telling me at the 6 days of the 18 days, oh, your status is not bad, and your biological age is 2 years younger than in January of 2021. Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
It was very, very interesting out of his mouth. I trust him very much. Yeah. And then later on, I met a friend. I didn't saw him. We didn't met for 3 years. And when he saw me, he told me, what the heck has happened to you? You are looking younger than the last time we have met. What have you done? And I was surprised. I was surprised because I had to learn. In between time, we had a one-to-one scan, you and me, and you told me to journal it down, my experiences, because I was unsure. And in between time, I can realize more and more.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah. And you know what Thomas was, Thomas brings up another good point is that, once I help you release those underlying patterns, whether you go to a doctor, a chiropractor, or, even, another, self-improvement person or anything like that, it's totally fine. But the key is you have to unlock the potential that you are first. And nobody does that like XI. So, and that's what Thomas was talking about. And Thomas, just to read you before we go on to Dan coming up, we'll roll his video. For you, Thomas, you had a lot of potential. You could see what's out there. And I can't even, and this is how deep of a change it is. I can't even see how you were in the past. I would have to access your log files to go, okay, what did I actually work on with Thomas? But I don't want to do that. We don't need to go back there. You guys can all see the original videos. But for you, Thomas, there's always been, say, a parachute that's just holding you back. You have a lot of creativity, a lot of potential, but it's like life has just been so damn slow for you. Does that make sense to you? It's just like you're pulling again. You're like the wind's pushing on you. Plus, you got this huge, big ass parachute behind you. And now, especially even now, just talking to you, just working on you, by the way, and working on the rest of you as well on the show. That's why it's important to be live on the show, by the way. Even if I'm not connecting you one-on-one, I'm still working. You're still bathed in the frequencies. For you, Thomas, it's like the wind is behind your back now. The parachute's cut off. And you're going to see that there's going to be so much creative juices flowing through you, but then also opportunities for you. Next 2 to 3 months, there's going to be an opportunity for you to really just damn, this is the real me. And you won't even know who Thomas was, the old Thomas was. And you'll own it. You're going to be deserving of it as well. So thank you so much for being on the show, Thomas.
I thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, guys, let's take care. We're going to go over to Dan. It's like life stopped. I want to say at 9 or 10 years old. Say that you're going on the train of time, Dan. You're just floating through and you're in time because you're a kid, you're just on that train. You have a near-death experience, no matter for whatever reason. You jump off that train that make sense? So now you're walking alongside the train of time. Obviously, you're walking a lot slower than time moves. So, and then it's like, well, when am I going to reset? When am I going to jump back on and resume my life? Does that make sense to you?
Yes, definitely.
So you're 9 years old, but then now you find yourself at 36. It's like, shit, I haven't figured out to jump back on the train of time. All right, guys, we are back. Hey, Dan, how you doing, buddy?
Great, Moss. How are you doing?
Doing really good. All right. So when did I when did I scan you, Dan?
I believe it was in July.
Okay. So not too long ago. Have you done anything since then? So
I
with
did
me, that maybe the 18 days or
August.
what now?
The 18 days in August.
Okay. Awesome. And then since then, I know we saw the video and, just analyzing, I don't even remember because you're so different as well. It's almost like you had a split personality or you felt like two people and then the new Dan came out. Does that make sense to you? So tell me about that journey since July.
So in July, when you scanned me, you basically mentioned that it was like the train of life I had got off many years ago.
Oh,
The train just kept going, but I was walking beside it. And it felt like immediately after the scan, you put me back on the train and life just took off. It was unbelievable. So many good things started happening and everything was just falling into place. It was amazing. Uh, and then it almost seemed like the train stopped for a bit and I had the opportunity to get off and a lot of things happened and I realized that I needed to get back on the train again.
yeah.
So
That's
it was
wonderful. Dan, it says, damn, looks great, much more alive. You look much happier, lighter and brilliant. Wow, big changes for Dan. It's amazing. So these people love you, buddy. They're rooting for you. We're all rooting for you. It's really beautiful, by the way. Thanks for the feedback, guys. Again, do you guys notice the differences? Now, you can't get that with psychology or anything like that. It's just, you just can't. It's your natural essence that's changing. Does that make sense to you, Dan? Does that make
yeah,
sense? Your internal self changed. And then obviously your psychology changes along with it. And then you said that you got off the train again. That's a really good point that you bring up because many of you who are going through the hyper meditations, the 18-day December hyper meditations, you'll feel the change, you'll feel that those things just like Dan, but it's like test trial, your new life. Like Dan's new life is like, hey, because I can't change for you because that'd be against free will. So it's like you give Dan the test trial. It's like, hey, Dan, this could be your new life. This could be your new life. What do you think? And then you get off the train and then Dan makes that decision. It's like, do I want my new life or do I want my old life back? Again, it's your choice, guys. Okay. And then Dan obviously picked the new life and then he got back on the train. And then that's where that momentum for him again got built up again. Does that make sense, Dan, buddy?
absolutely.
So what are you going to do with all the possibilities open? And by the way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, like in about 6 months, you're going to be drowning in possibilities for you. So we can talk about that when that juncture comes on how to filter all the possibilities that are available to you where before there was none. But in about 6 months, you're going to have an overwhelming, which is a good problem to have, by the way. And we can show you how to strengthen that. We can show you how to filter out the right ones for you specifically, so you don't have to, make the same mistakes over and over again. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with me? Anything specific, Dan?
Well, it seemed like in life, a lot of the people that I was attracting and in my life were other people who had gotten off the train. And that's kind of what seemed to happen. It seemed like when I got off again, I was surrounded by more of these same people just walking beside it. And I've kind of learned that unless they get on their own train and keep on moving, they're going to stay walking beside it. And I had to let them go and get back on.
That, Dan, I think that's the most brilliant piece of wisdom that I've heard in a long, long time is, guys, you can't carry anybody with you. You really can't. And you're not helping them. You're not helping you. I think, Dan, you realize it's like, shit, I'm not helping them. We're all going to be drowning. The best way to do it is, again, help yourself, be that lighthouse. I did this meditation on being that lighthouse. But we're going to do it again, by the way. But Dan became the lighthouse, and then some of your friends, from what I'm seeing, at least two and a half, maybe. 2.5. One's kind of on the border, is like gravitating towards you even closer. It's like, man, what the hell happened, dude? And they're going to gravitate, and then you're going to have that strong, solid relationship again. Does that make sense for you? So that's really cool. So beautiful. Thanks, Dan. Thank you so much. Take care. Nice job, buddy. Really nice job. All right. It'd be cool to see. This was in July. It's December now. Shit, less than 6 months. It'll be cool to see, what these what these people would look like in a year, maybe 2 years, maybe 5 years. Could you imagine if you started with XI? Could you imagine if you started your kids with XI? Where would society be now? That's the key. We're going to take it over to Francois. You're in a group of people, but then you're experiencing that people like in a bubble, in another bubble, although you're in that room. And it's like you feel the reason why, again, you might go, what's your personality, or what the hell is wrong with me? And all that's people go, my looks, I got to do this. I got to be funnier. I got to talk a lot. It's not about that. It literally is that they live in one reality, exist in, say, current time, if you could call it that, but you live out of time. So that's so you can never connect with people. Intimate moments obviously have not been there for you because, you can't feel that connection, and you're that person that needs a hug. Even like intimacy and stuff, you just need somebody else's touch around you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But you can't, because even if you get hugged, you'll feel like even more disconnected, and it's like, shit, why does that happen? Hey guys, we are back with Francois. Francois, how are you?
Hi, I'm well. I'm always a bit nervous when I know I'm going to be talking in front of a lot of
Yeah, no worries. And I was nervous too when I was young. I couldn't even ask where the bathroom was at a store or something like that. That's how bad it was. So, it just takes a little time, Francois, and you're going to do great, by the way. So when did I first scan you?
I did the first 18-day in August, and I was invited to have a scan on the last Sunday. So late August.
Okay, so late August. So since late August, any changes in you? And I'll just do a little reading as well, but afterwards. But your own words. What's changed in you?
Well, I was very distressed by my daughter's chronic psychosis, and a friend had talked about you to me, but I hadn't signed up for a few months. It took me to get to, I don't know, some mature dropping point. I signed up in August, which is the busiest time of year for me for work, but I managed to join every day. And there's been a huge transformation with her because she was distressing me. And just a huge difference. There was like a big detox one day, which was very unpleasant with her. And then since then, she's more relaxed, comfortable. She's not having to psych herself up. She's rewired. Even if we don't see each other, she lives in another country and I'm in another country. And I've detached from her.
Yeah.
And it's just as if her whole substructure is different, allowing her to be and get better and be the better person that she can be, recoded, rewired.
Yep. That's look at you. You're like a little girl. Francois, I know that little girl wants to come out. So, and these people love you. Francois, you look amazing. Glad to see you again. Looks light and fairy-like. That's what they're saying. That beautiful young woman that you never had a chance to really experience. Now you can, with deeper relationships. Maybe you're not in a relationship right now, are you? Thank God.
No.
Let's get rid of that stuff, huh? Let's start fresh with there so you can revitalize yourself. How old are you? Do you mind me asking?
I'm 61.
61? Okay. I'm 60. So you look beautiful and young. She's looking younger, looking brilliant, beautiful. Oh my God. People are just, you look amazing. I can see deep wisdom in Francois's eyes. That's the youthfulness that got locked in you when you were around, probably around 12 or 13, hon. And now that youthfulness can come back into you. You can actually like revitalize your life at this point, right? You can actually age younger, and you continue on, with 18 days and so on. It's not about getting rid of it. It's not about getting, those things are resolved. You saw that how fast it can get resolved. But now it's like, shit, I can reclaim my life. That's what you're looking forward to into the new year, Francois. I see a love relationship coming for you. One that'll literally whisk you away because that's what you've always wanted. Somebody that'll just like, Francois, just give me your hand and I'm just going to take you into the sunset and have a good time with you. And it's like, where are we going? It's like, it doesn't matter. We're going to have a good time. That's the kind of man that you want. Does that make sense to you? And knowing that, hey, it's like, I don't have to do that stuff. So that's coming up for you, but which is really cool. So again, you deserve that. Everybody deserves that, right? To be that, to fall into that beautiful love. But I want to talk about your daughter because
can I ask you a question?
Yep. Just one second. Yeah. So with your daughter, did you notice that amazing results happened to her? Again, you said she had psychosis and all that stuff. And I worked on you just for that 10 minutes, right? I worked on you and your daughter during that time. But the key is that as you changed, your daughter changed. And many of you will see this in your family. That's how powerful it is, guys. Because psychology only changes you. It doesn't even change you. It just like, I don't know, puts another gown on you. What we're talking about is an actual deep level, I would say DNA change, was so powerful that you're connected to your daughter so much that as you changed, she was forced to change, whether she did the work or not, which is pretty amazing. So can you tell a little bit about that? And then, you can ask her that question.
I didn't even talk to her about what I was doing because I didn't want it to be rejected.
Yep. That's the good way to do it.
Keeping quiet about it. What I wanted to ask is, how can I confirm? You talked about confirming the deletions.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Is there something I can do, even if it's for her?
Yes, absolutely.
Of the old stuff.
Yes. So Francois, just like Dan, just I don't know if you heard the conversation. He had that point where he kind of revisited his old life. You're going to probably revisit your old life for a little bit towards the end of the year, because it's a closing year. You're logistical. Your books will be probably accurate. You know what I mean? You're just like that person that just dots the I's, crosses the T's. You want it logistically. So you're going to take December as your spiritual accounting year, so to speak, or frequency accounting year. And it's like, okay, this. So you're going to review, your past, say, life experiences, and you're going to close that accounting up and then start fresh. So your new year, starting fresh, because there's a transitionary period. So you close your accounting year, of your old life before the end of this year. And then there's a 5-day in between time where you won't feel like yourself. You'll just feel blank and so on. And then around the second week of January, your new life kicks in. You know what I mean? And then this is where you get more confident in yourself. It's like you're more deserving of yourself. All those things that you've ever wanted in your life. Did you, somebody likes to dance. I don't know if it's you or your mom.
It's not. It's me, and perhaps the younger daughter was a dancer, classical.
Oh, okay. So is it? So okay. So it's your younger daughter. She's gonna. I don't know if is she still dancing or what?
No, not anymore.
Is there a reason? It just seems like dance comes back into your life where you like to dance, or you have that chance to dance with, you know, your love and all that, whatever that is. I just see that coming up for you. Yeah, dancing, because dancing is it's important in your family and all that. So the key is that you know, the dancing part will come back to you. Again, you're going to feel younger and more vibrant, like literally your physical features are going to be of, say, a younger woman. Just the way like I'm 60, I don't, you know, I look 60. I don't look 60. I look a lot younger, especially with like the total human reset, by the way, coming up in January. Yeah, but so just remember that. So confirming your deletions, late December, you're going to just run through the books and go, I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want this. I want this. And if you're not sure on what to say yes or no to, say no to it. In fact, I would just say no to everything. Okay. Even if you like it, I would just say no, close it off completely. And then whatever that you need will come back to you. Just like dancing will come back to you in a very different way. And you'll feel the vibrancy of dancing, because there's always been a burden in anything that you've done, even joyous experiences. Those days are gone.
Okay, when you scan me, my mother was mentioned, and I don't have to dance to her tune anymore, was one of the phrases said.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't see your mother around you, in you, your DNA structure and all that in December. Again, you're working towards that, where you're going to go, yeah, just like you said, I don't have to dance to mom's tune anymore. The way, you know, your hereditary patterns, some of the facial features, especially on the, you know, on the forehead, all those things literally will change for you, which is really cool. So again, you're completely, there's still parts of your mom, the better parts of your mom, but again, the bad parts of your mom, those are all gone for you, and it'll be gone for your daughters as well.
Can I quickly ask a couple more things? I have
quickly.
one other daughter, and I just like to keep the balance between them because I've never mentioned her with you. Mm-hmm. That's one thing. And then I'd like to say thank you to the friend who introduced me to you. And I think she's listening. I just like to say I'm grateful and thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, your younger daughter, she seems more masculine to me. That's how she's protected her space, you know, so she doesn't absorb, you know, the family patterns, so on. But from what I'm seeing is that, you know, again, she always is shy, not shy, but again, kind of keeps her own space and away from me. There's a big partition between her and everybody else, not just you. So as you become more of yourself, more vibrant, and then maybe that's the dance thing that I'm seeing, she comes back into your life at a stronger level. So, okay, hon? Really beautiful. Yeah. So keep doing the work, hon. We'll move on. We'll go to Sandra, and then we'll go to Andre, and then guys, we'll come back and analyze or scan you all as well. All right. I want to help my mom so she can have a nice life. Does that make sense to you? Around that time?
I was always in between my parents, kind of.
There you go. Yeah. So you're that problem solver for people, is my point. Does that make sense to you? Yeah. So that's the problem. When you're that problem solver, you have an identity of being that problem solver. So if you have no problems in your life, your identity would fade away. So this is where you would attract issues in your life, no matter what it is. Get it? Because that's your identity. That's you've created. So that's been. All right. We are back with Sandra. Hi, Sandra. How are you?
Hi, Mas. I'm fine. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing so well. It looks like you're doing really well and vibrant as well. Yeah. So, Sandra, tell me about your story. When did we connect? When did we do the scan?
I found out. Yeah, I had the scan at the end of September.
Wow.
I found out about your work at the beginning of September, and then I booked the 18 days, and now I'm in the second 18 days. And I also booked the accelerated, even if you warned not to do so, but I felt I had to go there.
That's totally fine.
I hope I'm well. Fine with it. I think I am. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what Sandra is talking about, like if you're new, I always suggest doing the essential, not the accelerated 18 days, just because it's so intense, the transformations. But if you can handle it, you're good to go. If you're like Sandra, just like, hey, what I know this stuff works. I'm just going to just dive right in, because that's what you do. You just dive right in, and you can handle it. That's perfect. So
I did an essential first. I did the essential.
Oh, you did? Oh, you did do it. Okay. That's even.
I'm in the second round now. Yeah.
Oh, the second round. Okay. So how did it go? What changes? Anything specific that you'd like to talk about? A lot of people saying you're brighter and cleaner. You're beautiful and happy.
Thank you. Yeah, I definitely feel more centered. Also in the first 18 days, since then I feel really more centered and grounded and stabilized. And I think I kind of not as fractured, if I can say that. I'm more solid. I feel more solid. Yeah. And it is as if I was observing what is happening around me, kind of as if I was in the center of the tornado and not in it.
Yes. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, you do seem more solid. When I look at you, you're just like one homogeneous being now. Before, like you said, you might have been fractured. I can't tell, because it feels like, does your old life feel like it was a long time ago?
Yes, and I had on a recent visit with my family. It felt as if my brother and his wife couldn't stand sitting next to me, or they looked at me as if I was from another planet. That's how it felt. Yeah. I mean, I observed, I didn't mind. And with my parents, it is a bit different, but I don't feel triggered by them anymore. It's also like observing. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just not part of that family, because again, I would assume that your genetic makeup has changed so much, right? That, well, you just don't feel like part of the family, and they don't know, your brother and sister, they don't know what to do with you, because they can't pull your old strings. They can't control you the old way. They can't, say manipulate you. There seems like there was a lot of manipulation in the past. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of manipulation, especially from my mom.
Yeah.
This is not, she still tries, but I see it and I don't allow it. Yeah. Well,
That's beautiful. Yeah, and this is a pivotal time for you, because now you're seeing all those patterns, from other people. But then you always have to ask yourself, Sandra, and this will help you confirm your deletions. It's like you're going to see that stuff, and then sometimes as you completely disconnect or walk away from your old self, some of those people are going to come back to you, and they're going to say, they're going to try to pull you back because you look too good for them. It makes them look bad. I know it sounds kind of strange, but that's what, your kind of patterns that you run are. So again, people from your old life, whether it's family or even a relationship from maybe 12 years ago, will come back and they'll try to pull you back. By the way, that relationship that shows up, say no to it. I'm just giving you a heads up. It's for you to confirm your deletions. It's not going to work out right. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
So, and you'll see the difference. It's like, and and I'm just bringing this up again, just as a heads up for you, as I analyze you. But more importantly, is like, you're going to see how you are in, say, a relationship, and you'll go, why the hell would I have ever let myself, would I have ever let me treat myself that way?
Yes, that's what happened. Yeah.
Okay, so if it's happened already, it might happen again.
I saw that. I understood that when I saw the 13 days relationship, which your series. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's talking about 13 ways to lose your love life, I think. Yeah, something like 13 ways to, just look up 13 ways on Sajady. Yeah. So for you, the big thing is, and for many of you guys, you're going through the process wherever, you know, if you're at the same, on the same path as Sandra, look at those relationships. Again, the old ones, they're really not there for you to reunite with them. Very few are, but for the most part, it's like you look at your old self, you look at your new self, and it's like, why would I ever do something like that to myself? And then you confirm your deletions, and then you just walk away. Okay. And another thing for you, Sandra, just one last thing before we leave, is that don't get into arguments trying to prove yourself right. Okay. Especially with parents or whoever it is. They just get you into that loop, and it's not about what you're arguing about. It's just about draining you the hell out of your energy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I felt that on my last visit, and I protected myself, so that I can see that come. Yeah, but I kind of feel like in a waiting position, even though I feel solid and well. I'm living in a huge house that is too big for me. I don't know. I would love to sell it. I don't know if it's the right thing to do. And if so, do you see if I'm going to sell it soon so I can really start my life, be more free without this huge responsibility, if I may ask?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're gonna build yourself. So these next few months, you're gonna really build yourself really powerful and more solid than ever, from what I'm seeing. And then the possibilities of selling your house and all that, when you completely change and own yourself, that's when your house sells, and it's not too long from now. So, does that make sense? So wonderful. Thank you so much, Sandra. Look for to be younger, from what I'm seeing as well. So, and not get pushed around. So take advantage of it. We're going to go to Andre.
You were in a lot of terror when you were a kid. Your mom probably didn't help the situation. She put you in more terror. Was she alcoholic, by the way? Or who was alcoholic in your family? So your mom, she gets alcoholic, and then she gets kind of abusive, and literally I can see her like shaking you when you're a little kid to stop crying or whatever, because you're very sensitive, and you see that she gets pulled into other realities. Your mom literally, and not just your mom, but your environment as well, but mostly because of your mom was living on the edge of her reality. And then and she basically was holding on to you. And that's why sometimes she was really, really loving to you, and then sometimes really, really disastrous to you at the same time. It really fucks you up. You know what I mean? When you're a kid.
Hey, Andre. So we'll try it again. I was talking over the video. Anyway. Hey, buddy. I remember you. A lot of people actually remember you, Andre, from the chat that I'm seeing. Again, all you guys that remember Andre, chip in, see how he's changed. So, yeah, you're the guy that the audio didn't work. Yeah. So, and that's what they're saying. Yeah. So, tell me about it. When did we connect? How long ago?
We connected. Exactly 6 weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah. And but I'm not aware or sure about the changes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, something happened. Fears came up.
Yep.
At night, nightmares. I had nightmares.
Mm-hmm.
I was scared to death in that dreams.
Yep.
I was threatened by a shotgun twice. And I had, on the other hand, I had spiritual experiences at night.
Mm-hmm.
4 or 5, very beautiful.
Yep.
On on Friday night, the spirit came into me from my perspective, and to me it felt congruent. I don't know if I'm right, but that's the way I.
Well, I think one of the things, Andre, is, I mean, I remember you, and let's just say that you're pretty fucked up. No offense. You're more solid than ever, but people like you. And again, this is normal. People like you will go, well, you know, even if a ton of stuff has changed, people like you would go, well, I haven't changed that much, or I don't notice the changes, because you've used that tool. Otherwise, you'd be going crazier than more than normal. But some of you, some of the people here go from scary to normal. Great job. You look so much happier and free. I remember, Andre, wow, you look amazing. Wow, it's so nice to see you, Andre, so much brighter, so fuller in the face. You look amazing. What a change. So take a look at all those things that they're talking about and start to analyze it. And for your type of patterning, Andre, you know, it's really important for you to journal or take pictures of yourself, because you're in such a paradigm that you don't see the changes in yourself. Oh, and by the way, I would read the book Psycho-Cybernetics. This is, if you guys know, by Maxwell Maltz. He was a plastic surgeon, and he'd make amazing changes, you know, from, you know, a distorted nose to just a perfect nose and so on like that. And the patients would come back and go, I haven't changed much. What the hell's going on? You know, and it's like they look at the pictures and it's like you've changed so much, and it's like, no, I haven't. So there's just a layer in you that's still running from fear, because there's a ton of fear in you. Does that make sense? And you're just kind of going, is this too good to be true? So you're not going to believe it just in case it falls out for you, because a lot of times in your life, a lot of things have fallen out for you. That makes sense to you. So.
I have a main problem, a long life issue. I couldn't, as we couldn't talk to each other last time. That's why I want to ask you if you can scan that quick. My throat is my weak spot, and I have a forced throat. I have to clear my throat all the time. It's an obsessive compulsive disorder, and it exhausts me and drives me crazy. And this is for maybe 40 years. And I want to ask you if you can that quick.
Yes. So even with your mic not working, that's not a coincidence. Let's just say that there are presences around you that have like shamed you, guilted you, abused you in the past, physical people as well. That's part. So, you know, whatever happens at a higher frequency will represent itself in a physical frequency. And then you're at that stage as well. When I first scanned you, is that those presences were really dark and deep around you, and they wouldn't even want me to connect with you. And that's why I had to push through. Remember, we had audio issues. We had a lot of issues, again, a representation of your voice. That wasn't, say, just coincidence, by the way. Okay. Some of my technical issues that I have, it's not just coincidence. It's like literally there is a frequency that doesn't want to die off, because whatever has controlled you, and there was a lot of things controlling you in the past, Andre, now there's none, but they still have a chance to grab onto you. So this is where confirming your deletions is really important. Okay. This is where you will have dreams, and you'll go, and you'll have dreams, and it's not me, but this is where you'll go, have dreams and go, you know, Moss isn't a nice guy. Moss is going to abuse me too. Moss isn't trustworthy. Moss's stuff doesn't work. It's going to fade away soon. And it'll put that thought of questioning in your mind, Andre. So those things I can help you out with. But again, it's up to you to go, no, this is my old self, the things that controlled me in the past talking to me. Okay. So you really have to anchor yourself here. Spatial referencing, you're familiar with spatial referencing, right? For those of you who don't know, we do it on the 18-day hyper meditations, really to bring you into, say, one solid identity. A lot of people have literally taken off their, psychotic medications just by spatial referencing. But coming back to you, Andre, so you really need to, this is where you step into your grandness. Now, what I've helped you do is, one, put you into one reality like everybody else is seeing. You're not all over the place. If you've noticed yourself, you're really more focused, if that makes sense to you. There's a lot of confusion coming into you now. Also, so you've been in 4 or 5 different realities. Those are still open for you. And now you're going to come into a more one reality, and then you're going to hold on to that reality. And this is where you're going to get back your voice. This is where you're going to get back your confidence. This is where you're going to know that it's like that shoe isn't going to drop off anymore. Does that make sense? It's yours, because once you own something, it's yours. So
I think my voice is suppressed, and my identity, because of that throat issue.
Yep.
And because you said I should write journal.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to express myself artistic.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't. I really.
Yeah.
I think it has to do with this too here.
Oh yeah, you can't express yourself writing or speaking, because again, they really want to shut you up. I don't care what you call it: sources, darkness, entities, ghosts, whatever, evil people, whatever it is. Yes, there's a presence or a consciousness around you that just like will keep you shut up, just so they can, say, control you. Just like Jacqueline here, I had the same, Andre. Strangulation, there are control forces around, just sucking the life out. And it's like literally breaking. And this is what you're doing. So this person went through the same thing as you. Again, control forces, or situations that never work out, so to speak. However, or bad luck, however you want to describe it.
Yeah.
But anyway, you're breaking free from that. So the key is that you have to push yourself forward a bit to break free from it, and then it disconnects. So it's going to get a little tougher for you. And then, like I said, you break free. Does that make sense, buddy?
Now you can, but you can do something now.
Yeah, I was working on your throat and literally stepping you to that next level where you're going to go, I own it. So when you you're going to start to go, I don't deserve this. You're going to feel good about yourself. You're going to feel guilty. You're going to see other people in pain and stuff. Don't worry about them. This is about you. Because when you strengthen yourself, those are all guilt patterns to pull you back into your identity or your consciousness that you had in the past. So, and I would definitely do the 18 days, because you need that extra momentum, especially with the issues that you have. Yeah.
And then I'm in the 18 days.
Okay. Continue to do it. Play it in the background. It'll give you that strength, that momentum to solidify who you are, who your new self is. All right, buddy?
Can I ask you just one question?
Quickly.
For me, it's hard to feel the frequencies. I can't feel it.
Yeah. It's because you are not you. Literally, you are not. You're going to become more and more you. Again, you've been split into 5 different pieces, basically. People just ravaging you, pulling you apart. So you'll start to feel the frequencies. But first, you'll have to step into your body, and that's the next phase for you. Okay. So.
And this throat issue.
I'm not a doctor. Yeah, it's related. Again, like I said, Andre, it's related to keeping you shut up, so you don't go forward with yourself. So you have to grab that confidence, and you'll see. I'm not a doctor, but you'll see that your throat will come back. Okay, and your writing skills, your creativity, and all that will come back to you. All right.
Is that throat issue related to another issue, to a sexual issue? Because but if I get in contact with sex, I feel bad after 1 or 2 weeks.
That's what I'm saying.
Related?
Yes, sexual issues. We have to move on, but sexual issues, throat issues. All those things, like I said, you're going to feel bad about, because you enjoying yourself, you enjoying your body, to somehow it's a sin. So like I said, you're going to start enjoying yourself. You're going to start enjoying your body, your identity. Own it. You're going to feel a little guilty, but just push through the guilt. And then you go, wow, this is the real me. And you'll just be, again, normal. Okay, buddy? We have to move on, but you're on the right track. You just got to keep pushing through. And again, amazing changes. I'd go to Sajady Live and look at, the show and look at the comments that these people are telling you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you to the XI family for the feedbacks last time and this time.
Yes.
And thank you very much, Bas.
You bet, Andre. You bet. You take care. All right, guys. And now it's your turn, guys. Let's go into. Let's see. Yeah. So again, let's give me 1 second here, guys. And I have to read this disclaimer. Sorry about that. All right, here we go. So this is Sajady with Xponential Intelligence, Sunday, December 12th, 2021. I'm not a medical doctor. I don't diagnose or heal. I can scan your frequency signature and tell you what I see. So again, if I give you medical advice, consult your physician, a professional advice. If you ask to be scanned today, you're agreeing that we may use your session on any public media to help inspire others. So remember, if you don't want us to scan you or use this session in public, then don't ask to be scanned. Okay. And all contents are protected by copyright. You may not use any content in any way, shape, or form without my written permission. And please ask only once. All righty. So we'll jump right in. Time to shine. Just reading a lot of comments. Lot of gold. So exciting. Remember Andre. So excited to see you. Again, a lot of fantastic transformations for you, Andre. Again, notice the changes and see what other people are seeing in you. Looking brighter. XI is real, more masculine, absolutely. More present. Less jittery, more power. Just looking through a lot of comments for those who want to be scanned. Again, thanks for the feedback, guys. It really means a lot to those individuals, especially when you're new, right? And the audience is applauding. So it really gives that feedback. And that's what the mastermind group is about. So this one, we'll go backwards. Rumi. So Rumi says, please scan. Sure. So again, what you do is, to seek enlightenment or to seek better knowledge or to seek a better person of who you are, you'll always want to go out of yourself. So you step out of yourself. And then sometimes maybe some of the meditations that you've done and all that, meditations or whatever else that you've done. Again, it's always escaping. And that's an issue I have. I have a deep issue with meditation and anything else that's out there, even some of the self-improvement or, somebody had this huge event, a big person had this huge event. And what they do is literally they help you escape out of your identity of who you are. And, it feels good. It feels really fantastic, by the way, but it leaves you blank. And as you step back into yourself, this reality gets heavier and heavier. And then we seek more enlightenment, more spirituality, but we never seem to, reach it. So that's the problem with you. So in this case, let's pull you back in. And that's what I was doing, not just for you, Rumi, but then for other people as well, just pulling you back in because XI is about, or the journey to enlightenment and massive abundance. Again, enlightenment and massive abundance. Those two words, those two ideas aren't used synonymously in anything, religions, success mechanisms, being a good person, all those things. Those two ideas are not used, which isn't true, because if you were an awakened spirit living here, you'd be all that and more. So again, those things are, I'm not saying they're not true, but they're not going to get you where you need to go. Right? Some of the methods might work, but a better version is, again, that inner expansion. And that's why it's helping you, pulling you out of your head and into your body to, again, to get that inner expansion. By the way, if I read you, oh, there we go. Oh my God, always so true. Thank you. Yep, that's from me again. I was going to say, hey, if I scan you, then comment in on how accurate I am. I know I'm accurate, but it's good for you all to understand where it all comes from, so it's not as woo. Please scan me, Moss. Please. This one is Bessa. Yeah, Bessa, you seem. I don't know if there's always like an issue or whatever in your family that runs in your family. From what I'm seeing, there's always an issue. So. And then you carry other people's issue. So when I see you, it's like you have heartache or the burdens of like 2 or 3 other people at least on you. Okay. And that could have been like childhood burdens of carrying other people's burdens. Yeah. But they're still with you. So we need to let that go so you can feel, say, expansive in the chest area. Okay. So take a deep breath in. Bessa, just notice where you are. Let's start to remove or release those patterns, because if you are in a relationship, that relationship will become heartache for you. In your family, if you've noticed, relationships are heartache, right? Say, I don't know if you had a brother or, father or whatever, they went to war, they would die in that war, and then heartache of love. So basically that pattern we need to disconnect from you. And we can do that, or, we'll start to do that. Again, these are just mini sessions. You can get a longer session, the private sessions, they are booked out. So, but we do have a waiting list. But most importantly, guys, a lot of times the 18-day hyper meditations will get you to a point where you can release a lot of things on your own. And then when you do have a private session, if you need one, it's not about fixing those things. It's about, hey, Moss, those are fixed. Let's just, kind of cleaning up a bit. Let's move on to the bigger, better version of who we are. Okay. So, by the way, guys, really great opportunity. Reflections coming up on December 29th. And it's a double meaning. Reflections. One, looking back, reflecting back on your past life, especially this past year, kind of tough, and then on the other side, again, reflecting who you really are. So again, letting go of your old identity and allowing a new reflection of yourself coming in. So that's on the 29th. And then what's been long awaited for, the total human reset, relationships, how to connect with your deeper self. Okay, singularity, basically, right? The I am state, the oneness state, the wholeness state. So total human reset. If you don't know what it's about, it's the fastest way to transform all aspects of your life. Got a fantastic diet plan, fantastic workout plan. It's about letting go of that old shit, starting fresh. Again, the first key, again, is relationships. 18 days, amazing. Would you scan me, please? Yes, Vortex Lady. So you're a Vortex Lady. You're actually trying to, there's a void, literally like a vortex, I guess, in your midsection here. That is starting to reclaim itself. So you would identify, or you would have no sense of self for a long time, especially if you had intimacy, or if you were in love with somebody. The more you fall in love with somebody, the more and more, say, disconnected you feel, or the more empty you would feel. A lot of times this happens when it seems like, and it might not be your life, but it seems like in your family, there's been a loss of kids, or the pain of not having kids, both. So again, Vortex Lady, comment in on how accurate that was. So the important thing is like, well, there's a void in this area, and you might even have issues having kids, or that love connection. So with that in mind, we can release all that from you, and then you'll feel fulfilled. And that's another thing. You'll always want to be fulfilled from an outside source. And it'll never work out for you because an outside source can never fulfill you, by the way. So this is literally about, plugging that hole that literally is a vortex, and recreating you. And that way you'll have more energy, you'll stay more youthful, you'll stay more vibrant, you'll feel more like a woman. Okay. So, and I was helping you realize that and understand that. Vortex lady. Yep. Yes. Right on, Moss. So there you go. This one is, let's see. Lavitra. We'll take two more, guys, and then we'll call it a day. Lavatra. Please scan me, Moss. So yes. So for you, there's a masculine frequency that kind of dominates you. So you feel like an insecure or unsure of yourself woman. That makes sense too. And you're getting to the point, or you were to the point, it's like, God, I don't even know what it feels like to be a woman anymore. So that kind of pattern, right? And when you're running that kind of pattern, well, nothing feels really, say, fulfilling or complete for you. And then you always think that it always feels like somebody's always watching you. Okay. So, and the reason is that there probably are. So say that you had a domineering, say, masculine frequency, and it could be your mom, by the way, but it's just a masculine, abrasive frequency. And it's always like they were hovering all over you all the time. And could you do things right? Not necessarily. Even if you did things right, it wasn't good enough, or it wasn't a big deal. You'd get, say, maybe like straight A's. It's like, yeah, okay, that's great. You know what I mean? It is like poo-poo, that kind of deal. So when you get that, is like, when you get to that point over time, that dominating factor is always above you. It's like, no matter what you do, it's like, God, I could have done better. So that's where that questioning comes in. And again, comment in, Levitra, if that's the case. So that happened a long time ago. We're still running that pattern, unfortunately. So let's see if we can release it. Take a breath in, just notice the neck area. If you think about it, it's almost like somebody breathing down your neck, right? Even when you're alone, even when you're sleeping, it's like you feel like somebody's with you, and in this scenario, take it a step deeper, because sometimes what happens, or a lot of times what will happen, is like that person dies, okay? And then they're with you all the time because they have no body. They get stuck into you, and then you turn into them, which is even scarier than hell. So again, let's get rid of that for you. This one, yep, Levitra. And again, thanks so much for commenting back, so that it's almost like talking to you guys. Still can't do things right. Absolutely. That's the gist of it. So the key is now, and again, since I've been talking, reading, analyzing you, been working on you, as well as other people on the call here. So what you'll feel, is it Lavatra? And I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Is that what you'll feel, hon? Is that you'll do something and you'll feel really proud, like you're breaking the system, like you did something wrong, but it's going to feel good. When you break the rules sometimes, like stupid ass rules, and it's like, damn, and you feel good about it, or you feel like you're getting, getting back at somebody. So that's the way you're going to feel. So get excited about that. You're on the right track. Don't feel bad about it. Own it. You might feel it's like shameful or sinful, like you did something wrong and all that stuff. That's about you freeing yourself. So again, it's a really great opportunity for you. This one, Marianne, Masa, I'd love a scan. Thank you. Yes. So Marianne, you seem, yeah. So you were, by the way, those who are new, you're going, how the hell does he do this? Because, you could even use your wrong name. Doesn't really matter. It's not about that. It's about the underlying, say, your frequency signature, your IP address, literally, that I tap into. So where was it? Marianne. So for you, Marianne, seems like you're a caretaker So you might have been a caretaker for, an elderly, or, a father figure, right? You were the support mechanism, or you're really close, again, to a father figure, or somebody that's masculine, so to speak. Masculine, but then also weak. So it could be your mom, but again, a masculine figure that kind of feels that way. And then you were that support mechanism. So you'd be really close. And then say they cross over, and then it's like, gosh, what do I do with myself? That kind of feeling. So with that in mind, you'd always need somebody else to support. So that's the key. You'd always need somebody else to support, to find or identify yourself. Or if that person is okay, you would, if that person is okay, you would, something would have to happen for you guys to connect again. So you don't want to run that type of pattern, Marianne. So let's help you disconnect where you're self-supportive of yourself. If you have kids, for example, your kids would always have issues that you would always have to say, take care of, no matter how old they are. So, or you're always worrying about your kids. Does that make sense? That's the kind of pattern that your type of pattern would incite. And again, write that in. Right in on how accurate. So what I was helping you with now is just like literally helping you release that opportunity where you can go, well, you know what? I don't need anybody else to be happy. I can just be on my own. Okay. So it's a good start for you. I would suggest a longer session though. This is Lisa, and then we'll call it a Lisa Michelle. I'm sick, no energy, no appetite. Please scan me. So from the work that you've done with me, and again, you're kind of new, seems kind of new, or at the beginning, it's almost like a masculine presence that's in you and controlling you. So you would probably experience it. You would probably experience it as a physically, you'd experience it in relationships where, relationships would be controlling. Okay. Your boyfriend, your brother, your father, your husband, whatever it is, they'd end up controlling you. And the reason why is literally there's a masculine persona, if you want to call it a spirit, identity, a blueprint, however it is, depending on your point of view, it's literally, it's in your gut. Okay? So somebody lives within you. Let's just put it that way. Just to make it simple, there's science behind it. I just don't have time to give you the science. But overall, there's another presence in you. Let's just quickly remove that. This is where you would have digestive issues. And as you've been working with me, you're starting to separate anyway, which is really good. You're starting to pull away from that space. So again, really, really good. Take a deep breath in for you and the rest of you as well. And we'll just release that. There you go. So notice how you feel. It's almost like a release for you, Lisa. Again, that does happen. Presences do happen where, again, they're embedded in you. So moving that out of you. And then you will probably feel like a void. But then when that void is over, you'll feel more complete. And then the illnesses patterns, that because you're always sick, basically. You're always sick. This could also happen from what I'm seeing. If you had a brother that passed away, either through suicide or a pregnancy that didn't make it, or if there was a young friend. I'm seeing somebody around 16 to about 18, around that, plus minus 2 years, that crossed over, that didn't cross over. They just clambered onto you. So that makes sense. Really interested if somebody did pass away. So with that, yeah, Lisa Michelle, oh my God, thank you. Honestly, I felt the shift. Yes, absolutely. So a lot of times, guys, if there is like another consciousness or another presence that and I talk about this in the science of death on how all that stuff works, guys. by the way, if you want to know. If you're that scientist, go, shit, I don't believe in that. Listen to The Science of Death. It's a lecture series, and you'll start to go, oh shit. By the way, I watched what was it? What did we watch on? Inception? Wait. Did we watch Inception? Interstellar. Yeah, I watched Interstellar, and it was talking about time frames, and all that. So it's literally the science of what Interstellar was talking about. So, yes. So, Lisa Michelle, there we go. A friend committed suicide. That's the one. That's the identity that was buried inside. Okay. So I freed. Do you see how that works, guys? And you might go, well, how does that work? Again, look at the science of death. I'm going to do part 2. I know I promised you guys I'll do that. Things have grown so fast with XI here. So anyway, helping him cross over where he should be, and then it releases you almost immediately. So, all right, guys. As we end, notice what you notice next week. Health topic. So take a look at that. Invite your friends. Please subscribe to the channel so we can bring you more, free content for you that literally can change your life just by listening. All right, guys. Notice what you notice. Notice the details. Peace. It's one of the best opportunities in history to awaken and reclaim who you really are. Any relationship starts with, that relationship with yourself. I'm actually here to change your underlying program on how you see yourself in relationships. What we do here in Xponential Intelligence is literally change you from the ground or your main framework, okay? Your blueprint level.
As obviously works on a frequency level, and frequencies are like the A-bomb of healing because they fundamentally change your structure from a biological, chemical point of view. Maz's frequencies or Maz's meditations, they recalibrate that innate ability for a human being to come back towards homeostasis.
I think this type of thing, your work, XI, all that is a epigenetic factor. I think it is a great influence because if you can turn a genome on, you can turn it off. And I think that with XI, with what you do, I think those are higher levels of a person that have not been turned on yet that need to be turned on.
Right.
You can go in and hit like that little switch.
Yes.
Turn that on, and it might be something new for this person because it's something different, but that's what we want. This is all what we're wanting is a better way, a higher way of existing and living and being.